In Paris, Chemcorp's corporate offices have air-conditioned offices, 6-hour work weeks, and fat paychecks. But halfway around the globe, in one of their factories in Africa, reality is quite another story. Shifts last more than 12 hours, poisonous vapors hung in the air, and workers take home no more than $1 a day. No one knew the whole truth until one man chose to dig it up for himself. Over the next 10 minutes, you'll see President Ibrahim Traoré go undercover for a perilous 12-hour stakeout. You'll experience the chilling discovery that toppled a system constructed on half a century of oppression, and in the last 3 minutes, you'll witness something that will leave you speechless. President Ibrahim Traoré gazed at the frayed plastic ID card in his shaking hands. Name: Musa Dio. Age: 34. Occupation: factory worker. The image depicted a man with darkened complexion, calloused fingers, and digitally inserted bags under his eyes, meant to render the disguise credible. In a mere 6 hours, Traoré would blend in with Chemcorp's factory gates as just another desperate worker. What if they know me? The idea thudded in his chest as he rehearsed shambling around with slumped shoulders and cast-down eyes. What if this kills me? But he recalled the child. 3 weeks ago, he had cradled a boy who was dying in a far-off village where the water had become black. The mother, fighting back tears, had breathed softly, "Please discover why our babies are born curved." During the same week, the health minister had burst into a cabinet meeting with pictures that reduced experienced politicians to tears: limbless children, eyeless babies, and Burkina Faso's cancer statistics that had rocketed from 2 a year to more than 200. Philippe Moro, Chemcorp's regional director, reacted quickly and unemotionally. Sitting in the lavish presidential palace in Ouagadougou, he sneered behind his designer suit. "Mr. President, our plant surpasses all the world's standards. Maybe you should be trying to make your health system better rather than trying to attack successful companies." Worse yet, Traoré's own economic minister nodded his head in accord. "Sir, we can't afford to alienate Chemcorp," he cautioned. "They have 3,000 employees here." That evening, Traoré made a decision. He would go undercover and discover the truth for himself, even at the cost of his presidency. What he was unaware of was that Chemcorp had already suspected his scheme. At 5:47 a.m., Musa Dio joined the line of workers plodding towards Chemcorp gates on the outskirts of Ouagadougou. The first thing that greeted him was the odor, smoky plastic and sulfur that pierced the eyes and scorched the throat. Burkina workers around him coughed harshly, spitting blood into dirty cloths. His boss, Ahmed, handed him a thin paper mask and plastic gloves. "That's it?" Traoré asked, recalling the complete hazmat suits in Chemcorp's advertising videos. Ahmed chuckled, then buckled over in a fit of coughing. "You have to be new, brother. The good gear only gets brought out for white inspectors." As the morning dragged on, Traoré saw things that no training as president could prepare him for. Workers handling acids that could eat through metal, many with open sores on their hands. But it was in Section C that he made a discovery that would force him to choose between maintaining his cover and saving a child's life. During a break, Ahmed pulled him aside. "Brother," he whispered, "your eyes, those see differently. Can you trust me?" When Traoré nodded, Ahmed took him through a door that read, "Authorized personnel only." What the president witnessed inside almost destroyed him. Children, scores of them, some only 10 years old, handling toxic chemicals in small rooms adults couldn't access. They were paid 50 cents a day. "Where are they from?" Traoré whispered. "Villages where Chemcorp poisoned the water," Ahmed said. "My nephew Ibrahim is one of them. They promised his family food and education." He gave Traoré a crumpled memo from Paris. African operations should maintain cost efficiency by utilizing local labor flexibility. Environmental protocols may be adjusted to regional standards. Within moments, a 12-year-old boy fainted handling sulfuric acid, his hands terribly burned. Supervisors pulled him into a corner. "This happens twice a week," Ahmed murmured. "Company policy avoids hospitals, unless someone dies." Traoré held back his fury. He needed more evidence. That's when he overheard 2 French supervisors speaking in their native tongue, unaware that the man they were mocking understood every word. "The toxic waste disposal is tonight." Headquarters want it thrown into the Volta River by next month's inspection. What about the villages downstream? Not our worry. The bribes are paid. That was it. Within 2 hours, his cover would be blown. Yet instead of requesting backup, President Traoré took a daring move. He strode directly into Philippe Moreau's office. What transpired in that room, recorded by security cameras, would shortly appall the world. Moreau glanced up, annoyed. "What do you want, worker?" "Sir," Traoré said quietly, "I have news about tonight's trash run. Someone's going to reveal it." Moreau's face turned pale. "What do you know?" "I know everything," Traoré said, "and I know you're going to make the biggest mistake of your life." He gradually took off his worker's cap and the thick-rimmed glasses. Identification hit Moreau as a flash of lightning. His coffee mug fell from his grip and broke on the floor. "Impossible," Moreau breathed. "Highly possible," Traoré replied. "And Felipe, you just admitted to environmental terrorism, straight to the president of Burkina Faso." At 5:30 p.m., military trucks encircled the Chemcorp building. But what followed wasn't only a raid, it was a warning to the entire continent. Still dressed in his worker's attire, Traoré approached the factory's public address system and took the microphone. "My name is not Moussa Dio. I am Ibrahim Traoré, president of Burkina Faso. For the last 12 hours, I have worked alongside you. I've breathed your air. I've seen your strength." Surrounding him, 3,000 workers were motionless, gradually grasping their president had moved among them, lived among them. "But what comes next," Traoré went on, "will make sure this never occurs again. Not here, not anywhere in Africa." The consequences were immediate. Chemcorp's license was taken away. Executives were imprisoned. A $3 billion compensation fund was established. Young Ibrahim, the boy who had toiled in the chemical department, was the first pupil registered at a new technical school, constructed on what previously was the factory site. 6 months later, Ahmed called on the presidential palace in Ouagadougou. No longer did he cough. His complexion had returned. "Mr. President," he told him, "you didn't merely witness our misery, you breathed it into your very lungs. Today, that same location is Africa's model for moral production. Employees receive a living wage. Security measures surpass even European standards. And the Volta River flows pure once more." 3 days after the plant shut down, President Traoré got phone calls from 7 other African heads of state. They all viewed the video of his campaign. Within a month, surprise inspections had shut down 47 foreign-run factories across the continent. What began with one fake ID card in a 12-hour shift became the spark for Africa's industrial revolution. The same company, 2 different worlds. Not anymore. Because sometimes the only way to change a broken system is to experience it from the inside. Even if you're a president disguised as a factory worker named Moussa Dio. Real leadership does not sit behind marble desks. It walks through poison smoke. It listens. It acts. And it takes poison-laden breaths until all can breathe freely